Hi, my name is Billy Midnight, and welcome to this edition of Hot Wings, where we have hotter wings and even hotter questions. Today I'm joined by Cornelius Hubert, owner of Westmark Textile Industry Incorporated, and today we're going to be asking you a few questions. So, to start things off, basically how this is going to work is I'll ask you a question, and then at the same time we're just going to eat these wings. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
All right, to start things off, just to get to know you a little bit, I want to ask, what's your political ideology, I suppose?
Well, you see here, Mr. Midnight, what it all boils down to is what we've learned in the past 100 years or so. You see, what is good for the market and the economy is also good for the state. And then what is good for the state is also going to be good for all the individuals in the country. You see, what powers a nation is the economy, and we need to power the economy. So, for example, my factories employ thousands of people, and this is optimal for powering the economy as well.
I see. Okay. So, things have changed a little bit in the past 200 or so years, especially in terms of labor conditions. So, nowadays it's actually against the law to employ people under the age of 14. In addition, we recently have had a minimum wage increase to $15 an hour. And typically people aren't employed for over 8 hours in a day, and normally around 40 hours a work week if they are full-time. And finally, actually, labor unions are protected by law. So, what is your stance on those issues?
So you see here, I find that completely ridiculous, how we could run something with $15 an hour over 14, and along with the unions, you're, especially if they're supported by the government, you're completely impeding the free market structure, and you're therefore punishing factory owners, much like myself, for trying to employ people to maximize the economy and production.
Okay. Well, actually, for our next spicy wing, we're going to actually just show you a video, or an image rather. If I'll direct your attention over here, this is an image we found in one of your factories, as a matter of fact. And it seems to be a child working there. Do you mind explaining that?
Well, that just seems like a perfectly able-bodied employee working there in one of my factories down in Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, of course.
Yeah, it's nothing much.
I see. Okay, well, we actually did a little bit of research into this, and we did go down to the Tampa Bay factory, and we tried to find a child in your factory, as a matter of fact, and we found a lot of other children just like him, and so we sought out his mother,
Of course.
and we found the family, of course, right? And she was giving us a rather detailed explanation of the conditions that he was living under, where he would, be working for over some days 16 hours a day, and in dangerous conditions. Maybe not even enough food in the day to eat.
Well, you see, really, there is really nothing to worry about, again, because he is a completely able-bodied worker there. There's no problem. You mentioned 8 years old. That is a perfectly okay working age, you see. We need to maximize their efficiency from day one.
I see. And, well, you say able-bodied, but clearly he was not up to the task. We talked to the mother, and he was recently found deceased, as a matter of fact. And although she didn't have an explanation of the specific reasons why, I believe it's a reasonable assumption that we can infer he died of the hazardous working conditions So, do you have anything to say to that?
Well, you see, there was clearly something must have been awry, you see, because truly there is nothing. My factories are run to the highest standards, and these people are working in fantastic conditions compared to what they could be doing, let's say, 100 years ago. I am their savior, providing them employment. They should be thankful.
And you really feel that way?
Of course, Mr. Whitney.
All right. Well, I suppose that wraps it up then.
Of course. Well, it was a pleasure doing the interview with you, Mr. Midnight.
I wish I could say the same.